We need messengers to make sure that people are paying attention to all these hearings on Capitol Hill, to communicate to voters. I don't agree with what Bernie Sanders said, that we've abandoned the working class people. No. We actually are the party of working class people.
In this video, Ana Kasparian once again criticizes the Democrat Party while also getting in a couple shots at Joy Reid. Ana Kasparian takes issue with the Democrats' recent choices in leadership. With that, let's watch Ana Kasparian wreck the Democrat Party and Joy Reid's brain-dead takes.
I think the party needs to concede, retire, enjoy the rest of your life.
What is about this?
Let them be
this gerontocracy seems like it's intractable.
Why not have an AOC and a Jasmine Crockett who, quite frankly, are never scared?
Never.
Of
and
Donald
can
Trump
communicate with regular people about regular things. I mean, AOC and Jasmine Crockett are probably two of their best communicators.
We need messengers to make sure that people are paying attention to all these hearings on Capitol Hill, to communicate to voters. I don't agree with what Bernie Sanders said, that we've abandoned the working class people. No. We actually are the party of working class people.
It's a new day in America, folks, where you have someone like Joy Reid on MSNBC criticizing the Democratic Party. Hear, hear. Now, of course, this has to do with the Democratic leadership, in this case in the House, refusing to kind of step aside and allow for younger members of Congress to take the reins, to serve in leadership roles. And to be more specific, this week we learned that while AOC, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, was trying to win a leadership role in the House Oversight Committee, Nancy Pelosi was behind the scenes whipping up votes against her to ensure that a more moderate Democrat, Representative Jerry Connolly.
If you like watching videos like this one, like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Let's get back to the video.
Connolly, who's 74 years old and is currently suffering from cancer, would be named the leader, Democratic leader of this committee instead. And so I'm real curious to get your thoughts, Waz, because for the most part, I mean, I agreed with what, Joy Reid was saying, and I don't agree with her often these days.
I rarely agree with Joy Reid when it comes to what the Democrats are doing or what they should be doing and what's right and what's wrong. But I think it's obvious that everybody understands this gerontocracy situation is bad. It's bad for business. Like this idea that you can be dynamic and reach a mass audience with, these freaking people that you got to wheel across the damn stage or on crutches, and they basically got to eat in public with a damn bib on. I think that's a problem. And I'm not trying to be ageist here, but just look at it looks insane. And then, when they come out and say like, oh, we're the party that has the best interest of the country and blah, blah, blah. And they do this stuff like just nakedly grab for power at every single turn. Like everybody knows that's the wrong move. What I will say, man, and if you ever watch a Nancy Pelosi interview and she's talking about her machinations behind the scenes, she's a freaking mob boss. And I think what she would say to AOC.
Well, they got a couple things right here. Nancy Pelosi is definitely a mob boss, criminal and corrupt, just like the mob too. Well, I'm glad to know that I still have my head on straight because I disagree with Ana Kasparian, the guy she's talking to, stupid Joy Reid, and her guest. Every time I've heard AOC or Jasmine Crockett speak, they sound like complete and utter idiots to me. As far as AOC in particular, she is so far left that no one can take her seriously. Why would anyone consider her for a leadership position when one of the pieces that just caused the Democrat Party to get destroyed in the last election was the woke ideologies? AOC is the queen of woke. And how funny is it that guest on Joy Reid's show said, Bernie Sanders isn't right. We haven't abandoned the working class. We are the party of the working class. Well, you can say that all you want, but you're not. You're the party of the donor class and liberal elites and billionaires, for sure. I don't even think your party would argue with that. But that's a far cry from being the party of the working class. Anyway, back to Nancy Pelosi. Of course she's a piece of garbage. The whole party is corrupt. and just filled with awful people. I'm convinced they really are stuck between a rock and a hard place because I absolutely agree. What I do agree with Anna and this other guy on is absolutely they need younger leadership. I want all the stupid old worthless rhinos and never Trumpers, all those old men out of the party. So we're in the same boat there. But I don't know why it has to be one extreme or the other. You say, that Nancy Pelosi is whipping up votes for this other guy because he's more moderate, but he's 100 years old. And then so you've got that extreme as far as age, and then on the other extreme, you've got freaking AOC and Jasmine Crockett. Like they're embarrassments to the party. Maybe some people, maybe the left likes them. In my opinion, they're embarrassment. I mean, I guess I'd say it about most Democrats, but some, not a lot, but some are more reasonable. They're definitely more reasonable in their policy positions. I mean, you don't want someone who's super woke in there, but I agree you don't want some old codger in there either. I don't know why there couldn't have been a middle ground found somewhere with someone who's a little bit younger but more moderate. Everyone's working their best interest. Nancy Pelosi is working in her personal best interest, not what's best for the party or anything like that. I mean, the Democrats party's so bad that I can't even think of someone who's, more moderate but younger that they could choose that wouldn't be a complete embarrassment. But there has to be someone. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
See is, why don't you whip up the votes? Okay? You don't have the power, so shut up. You got to take the power. Basically, they're saying you got to kill us yourselves at the ballot box. You got to have more progressives in the caucus so that, these freaking corporate, moderate, centrist, whatever euphemism we want to call these Democrats, so that we can actually defeat them.
That's such a great point, Waz, because so far, AOC has tried the approach of cozying up to people like Nancy Pelosi, calling her mama bear, complimenting her. She came in, she got voted into Congress to fight the Democratic establishment. And in the very beginning, she did. But she caved to them pretty quickly. And look, I can imagine how uncomfortable it is to find yourself in a workplace that's incredibly hostile toward you. But that's what you got voted in for. And so no one is going to hand her a leadership position because right now, the standard operating procedure for the Democratic.
Yeah, no one's going to hand her a leadership position. But just like anywhere, she's going to have to fight for it, at least in terms of Democrats, with other qualified people. Again, I wouldn't call them qualified, but you know what I mean, relatively speaking. But yeah, you have to fight for it. Nothing's going to be handed to you. And I think AOC, even though she spouts all this progressive crap, which they definitely do not, I mean, Anna and this guy are so wrong. They do not need progressive leadership. People aren't looking for that stuff from the Democrat Party. And independent voters are not looking for progressiveness. I mean, again, I think our most recent presidential election reflects that. Oh, what I was going to say, though, is even though AOC spouts off all these, progressive talking points, and I do think that's what she believes. I mean, Anna says, well, at one point she was like fighting the party powers that be or whatever, but I feel like she's always towed the party line. And like Anna said, cozy up to Nancy Pelosi. I mean, I think there's merit to having a united front in your party, but unlike the Republican Party, I don't think the Democrats are capable of trying to find common ground, and like I said, finding someone kind of in between some old man and AOC, just like they are with their party, where it's their way or you're out of here. I think individually, whichever side you're on, the AOC side in the Democrat Party or the Nancy Pelosi side, they bring that same standard, personally to their quote unquote side of the Democrat Party. It's like you're either with us or against us. That's why another thing I'm proud to see in the Republican Party, not proud, but I'm happy to see in the Republican Party. And I've always felt like people can disagree in it, even get heated at times, but we all know we want the same things, and it's just different ideas of going about it. And I think healthy debate within a party is good. I think healthy debate in the Democrat Party is non-existent. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
Party in Congress is we have protocols. Seniority is the number one priority. You have to pay your dues and you have to wait your turn. And understand that's all about their own sense of entitlement. It's not about what is best for constituents, what is best in terms of securing policy wins that Democrats purport to want to pass. It's all about, like, you know, this person's waited their turn. It reminds me of what happened with Hillary Clinton in the 2016 election.
Yeah.
Right? All of the games that were being played during that Democratic primary, not to ensure that the best possible candidate was going to run against Donald Trump, but to ensure that someone who was really rising, skyrocketing in popularity at the time, of course, Senator Bernie Sanders, wouldn't have a chance. Right? I remember all the little games that they played. It's
Ana said, the way they're choosing people to lead in the Democrat Party now is pay your dues, seniority, entitlement. I couldn't agree with her more. She said, not what's best for the people. I can't remember the last time the Democrats really ever gave a you-know-what about the people. Everything their politicians do is in the best interest of the politicians or their donors or people that can help them get elected. I mean, the Hillary Clinton example is a great one. 2016, Bernie Sanders was showing that he could probably beat Hillary Clinton to be the Democrat nominee, but they hijacked him because it was, quote unquote, Hillary's turn. So that's a perfect example at a very, very high level of them not giving a crap about the voice of the people. I'm not being hyperbolic when I say I genuinely don't think they care what people want. And there's a lot of people on the right that I'm sure don't either, that are corrupt and do the wrong things. I just think overall there are significantly more politicians on the right that are actually trying to get things done and listening to the people that they represent. And the same thing with Kamala. Unelected officials just decided when Joe Biden dropped out that she's going to be your nominee, and everyone within the party just accepted that and supported her fully. I mean, that's crazy. That's the opposite of doing what's in the best interest of your constituents. But we want to hear from you. What do you all think about Ana Kasparian's criticism of the Democrat Party? Let us know. Anyway, as always, we really appreciate you watching the video, and we will see you on the next one.